Hello, everybody. Dr. Tam here. This is another episode of our broadcast podcast
Mm-hmm.
information that we want to give you every single week to make sure you are increasing your function, increasing your longevity, and of course, decreasing pain as much as we can.
Mm-hmm.
So, Rocky, what is today's topic on what we're going to talk about?
Mm-hmm. Well, Dr. Tam, for the past four episodes, we have been generally talking about, the most common diseases that people may be suffering from. We
Right.
talked about leaky gut, having too much acid in our bodies, insulin and insulin resistance, diabetes, and other chronic diseases, right? So,
Right.
and if there's anything that I learned from those previous episodes, it is that for our bodies to heal, we need to do a total lifestyle change. Um,
Right.
from watching the food that we eat to becoming more active and even our ways of managing stress. So, for the next episodes, we're going to talk about ways on how we can do that, doing a lifestyle change. And then we will be looking into healthy hacks, of course, Dr. Tam's tips and tricks, and
Right.
how our viewers can regain their lives naturally without drugs or surgery.
Okay.
So, yeah, so today we're going to be talking about, food. So, we're going to start the series with food because as they say, when your diet is wrong, medicine is of no use. But when your diet is correct, there's no need for medicine. So,
Right. 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 Right.
so my first
So
question, I
where do
guess,
we start? Yeah.
yeah, my first question is, how does a food, or how much does food play a part in healing our bodies?
I would say, there was a quote that let thy food be our medicine,
Mm-hmm.
right? And when you look at food in general, food plays a huge role in how our body heals. See, most people think that lifestyle changes, or when they look at a diet, they
Mm-hmm.
always look at, okay, I'm going to get on this diet. That's why there's so many
Right,
diets. That's why there's like every 3 to 6 months there's a new diet, right?
right.
You've got your back in the day, you have your Atkins diet, your keto diet, your
Mm-hmm.
paleo diet. I mean, there has been cabbage soup diets,
Yep.
what grapefruit diet. I've heard watermelon diets. I mean, people have asked me about everything. Carnivore diet, only eating meat,
Yep.
right?
Mm-hmm.
There's a vegetarian, vegan, and then I don't know, there's
There's a lot.
pescatarian, right?
Yeah,
I mean, these are
pescatarian
just
diet.
the yeah, these are just the popular ones. We haven't
Mm-hmm.
even gotten into it. Okay, there's of course the Mediterranean diet. Then there's the you ever heard of the SAT diet?
No, not yet.
Not yet. It's called the
Not.
Standard American Diet.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's
Sad
called the
diet,
SAT
right?
diet, right?
Yeah.
So I think the biggest thing is people have to realize in order for you to be healthy, you cannot um, just change one thing. You have to change your whole lifestyle, right? You have to make sure you are changing your lifestyle, not just following a diet for a
Mm-hmm.
specific shortened period of time.
Mm-hmm.
See, if we think about our health got to where it is, if it's poor or if it's good, because of years. I
Right.
think of in 5 to 10 years, right? It's you can't just eat bad for 1 year and then you start ending up with all kinds of health problems.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly not, okay?
Yep.
Unless if you watch the movie, you ever watched the movie called Super Size Me,
No.
where yeah, there's a so McDonald's has been known for supersizing everything in
Yep.
America.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you want to there's a, a fries or soda. There's small, medium, large, right? And one thing that I was shocked by is the American medium is actually the Asian large,
Large.
right? So in America, we have the medium, the large, and then there's a super
Super
size me.
large.
Yeah, super large, like 40
Mhm.
ounces or 32 ounces,
Wow.
something like that. It's crazy. But This one guy in the Super Size Me movie ate McDonald's for 30 days
Mm.
straight, 3 meals a day, 30 days straight. And it was showing his health declining as the time went on.
Mhm.
His body ended up being sicker and sicker and sicker, right? So what we tend to think is, oh, we just get on a diet and we lose weight. See, most people got it the wrong way. Most people want to lose weight to be healthy, right?
Right. Right. Mhm.
But the concept has to change. If you don't change that concept, you will never be healthy. Is you have to be healthy
Before losing weight.
to, in order to lose weight.
Mhm. Mhm.
See, and that's the thing is you have to change your lifestyle. I use a 90-10 rule in eating. 90% of the time, you have to eat phenomenally well, which is what we should be feeding our bodies anyway, right?
Mhm.
And then 10% of the time, go have some fun, eat a
Mhm.
little, live a little bit, drink, or whatever you think we do.
Mhm.
So no more than 1 to 2 meals a week should we be eating whatever we want. And here's the thing, the cleaner you eat, the worse you're going to feel when you eat bad and poorly.
Yeah.
So you see, and
Yeah,
then
and
that's the big thing.
I also heard that for some, actually for most who eat healthy,
Uh-huh.
they get more motivated to actually just work out and basically live a healthier life. So
Well,
that's why.
there's a thing behind that.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a hormone in our body called serotonin. Now, serotonin is known as the happy hormone.
Mm-hmm.
So, well, where's the happy hormone made?
Right.
80% to 90% of the happy hormone is made in your gut.
Mm.
So, guess what happens? If your gut's not healthy, right, you can't be happy.
Right.
See? And that's why the gut plays a huge role. When your gut is healthy, when your body's healthy, you release a lot of serotonin, endorphins, and you want to go out, you want to be active, you have energy, you want to go
Yeah.
do things,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
But when you're not, now you end up lethargic, you become non-motivated because of the lack of serotonin. More people get depressed and have anxiety,
Yeah.
right? All kinds of health problems.
Then your mental health gets
Mental
affected
health.
too.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
people only talk about, oh, yeah, it's physical health, food health. No one cares about mental health. Well,
Mm-hmm.
if people who really care about mental health should make better food choices because that's how they would get a better mental health, you
Yeah.
see.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Well, obviously food really has, it's a very large topic and, it has deep roots. So,
Right.
I guess one of the things that people struggle with is the feeling of deprivation when they eat healthy, right?
Mm.
So, how can we combat that?
Well, here's the thing. We're so used to, let's talk about sugar for a second. Did you know there was a test done by scientists that test the difference between they took mice, and I want you to post maybe a picture of this or
Mm-hmm.
find an article and then post it as well. They took mice that were fed sugar and then mice that was fed cocaine. Okay,
Okay.
drug, right?
Mm-hmm.
They were trying to see how addictive was sugar. And at the end of the study, it was harder to wean the mice off sugar than it was off the cocaine.
The
Can you
cocaine.
believe that?
Wow. So
See, people said
imagine.
drugs are addictive, right? Oh yeah,
Mm-hmm.
cocaine's addictive. You know, it's addictive. It's an addictive drug. I said, yeah, sugar is addictive.
Mm-hmm.
Sugar is more addictive than cocaine. So now if people feel deprived, right? they get some sugar, they get that
Yeah.
sugar high, and it releases for a moment. It gives them lots of energy, and they feel all hyped and high, right? And then they get sugar withdrawals, right? Just
Mm.
like people could get like cigarette withdrawals or certain drug withdrawals,
Liquor.
alcohol,
Yeah.
liquor, right? Caffeine withdrawals. People get
Mm-hmm.
sugar withdrawals. But what we have to do is what we need to do is you have to replace a bad habit with a good habit, right? We got
Okay.
to fill in that time, we got to fill in that gap. Now,
Mm-hmm.
let's just say someone's so used to eating chips. Well, maybe the first step is to go from regular chips to sweet potato chips
Mm-hmm.
to maybe dry up your some taro chips or quinoa chips, something not potato chips. And if you do eat potato chips, maybe eat the ones that are not fried in canola oil or peanut oil or corn oil,
Baked. Mm-hmm.
right? Baked in make it yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Spray some avocado oil, some olive oil, air fry it, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
Instead of deep frying. So I believe that replacing, how they do people who get off cigarettes,
Yeah.
they get them to chew nicotine gum, which is also kind of bad for you in
Yeah.
the long run, right? But maybe they end up, snacking on something else. That's why people who get off cigarettes, they end up gaining weight.
Like
Not
diverting that.
because,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, they're snacking on something else, but they're not snacking on something that's healthy, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're snacking on something that's very unhealthy, you see?
Yeah.
So we have to replace it. Maybe snack on carrots
Yeah.
instead,
Right.
instead of dipping it in ranch, right? People eat salads and they're like, oh yeah, I eat
With
super healthy salads. And then they douse it with
a lot of dressing.
dressing, like ranch dressing, blue cheese, Thousand Island. I said, all those are full of sugar, very high in fat, very little nutrients. Why not dip it in some olive oil and vinaigrette,
Yeah.
right? So
Mm-hmm.
let's replace that. I think that lifestyle change is really, really important by switching something, replacing with something else. Because a lot of times it's that time factor as well.
Mm-hmm.
People would maybe have have a snack in the afternoon. Well, if you spend about half an hour having a snack, why not go for a walk for half an hour?
All right.
Drink
Mm-hmm.
some water instead. You know,
Mm-hmm.
there's a hormone called ghrelin. You ever heard of ghrelin?
No.
Yeah, ghrelin is a hormone. G Let me see. Ghrelin hormone. Ghrelin hormone.
Okay.
So ghrelin is a hormone that tells our body when we are hungry.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why if we're eating around the same time, the ghrelin levels ramps up, tells you to eat, and then insulin when you eat ramps up as well, storing fat and getting the sugar into the body, storing energy.
Mm-hmm.
But there's been a lot of times, sometimes we forget to eat, like intermittent fasting, right? You don't
Mm-hmm.
eat in the morning. And after a while, ghrelin start to taper off. So controlling that is a key thing as well,
Mm-hmm.
replacing it with something else.
Right. Yeah, and I think that's one other factor is just like what he said, time, right?
Mm-hmm.
Especially with the fast-paced environment. Um, in the US, approximately 36.6% of the adults just consume fast food, right?
Yes,
And you mentioned earlier that basically we have to change our eating habits. And,
right.
healthy eating or lifestyle change in theory is easy, but, in practice can be very difficult. So, what are your tips probably on, where do I start or
Yeah.
how can I make it more simple?
So we got to go back to our roots.
Mm-hmm.
There is a country. I like to tell a story. And this is a very fascinating story for anyone who likes to read about it online.
Mm-hmm.
There's a country called Bolivia. Bolivia is in South America, and it's surrounded by Peru, Brazil, Paraguay, Chile, and Argentina.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of tucked in the middle. And Bolivia is not your first world country, right? Between maybe second or third. And there's a company, really well-known company, that wanted to go into Bolivia. Now, this company, food company, has done well all over the world. And it's a small little company called McDonald's.
Okay.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
For 10 years, McDonald's tried to be profitable in Bolivia. And after about a decade of trying to run its restaurants in Bolivia, it decided to close down all of its stores. So here's why. People in Bolivia, when they were interviewed, they said, how come you guys don't like to eat McDonald's? And this one lady said, my education is not very high. You see, our country doesn't have a lot of money. But one thing that we know is growing up, my mother, my grandmother took hours to prepare a meal, 1, 2, 3 hours easily to prepare a meal. You're telling me that this restaurant called fast food McDonald's can get a meal ready in less than 3 minutes?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Makes sense.
They can't believe that food could be healthy or could be real food when it's made in that short of a time.
Mm.
And because of that simple fact, McDonald's wasn't profitable and had to move out of Bolivia. Now, if we think about that, right? What was the percentage of people eating fast food?
About 40%.
40%,
Mm-hmm.
right? And that's probably 40% of people eating it every day.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There's people who eat it weekly, right? Bi-weekly.
Right.
I haven't had fast food. I can't remember the last time. But here's the thing. We eat fast food. We give fast food to our kids. We buy it for our parents. Now, growing up, I'll tell you, in Hong Kong, McDonald's was a treat. We didn't even have money for McDonald's. McDonald's was like the high-end food, right? McDonald's cost so much
Yeah.
in Hong Kong when I was growing up, right? Because here's the thing, no matter where you are in the world, McDonald's costs about the same,
Mm-hmm.
right? So in certain countries, when I was growing up in Hong Kong, grew up kind of, metal shacks and all that, we kind of grew up in poverty. You want to have McDonald's. That's like a once a week or
Yeah.
once a month type of treat.
Yeah. Special
right?
occasions. Yeah.
Special occasion. You have a birthday, we take you to McDonald's.
Right.
Right? Any other day, you're just going down the street, the guy standing in the corner serving up noodles or something.
Yeah.
That's what you're gonna get, right? So because it's everyone wants to be westernized, right? In Asia
Mm-hmm.
and in South America, we're very tuned into the fast food world, and what happens is we become kind of drawn into that, like thinking that, oh, it's cool, but here's the thing. You would feed yourselves, but here's the thing is I've asked patients when I see them come in the office with McDonald's,
Mm-hmm.
and I said, wow, what'd you just have for lunch? And they'll say, oh, I had chicken McNuggets or like a Big Mac and fries. I said, that's interesting. And I said, I just want you to know that fast food does not help you in your body's healing capability. And they're like, oh, okay. I didn't know that was, I knew that was bad. I didn't know it was that bad.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, okay. I said, let me ask you a question, not judging, I just want you to realize something. I said, would you ever give your pets, dog or a cat, some chicken nuggets or a Big Mac? Oh no, can't eat that. They had to eat dog food or cat food.
Mm-hmm.
Would you ever give them French fries? And he said, well, no, that's, I said, why not? Well, that's bad for them. And I said, yeah, you feed that to yourself and your kids, knowing that your dog and cat can't eat it.
Mm-hmm.
Who told you you were supposed to be eating that? Well, I don't know, grew up eating it. You know, the commercial says I can eat it. I said, so it's good enough for you, but it's not good enough for your dogs and
Dogs.
cats. See, dogs and cats and mice, the reason why we can't feed them those foods is because dogs, mice, and cats get sick really quickly. So that's why we don't feed them that, is because their metabolism gets so quick and they get sick easily.
Right.
And that's why.
Okay. So you're saying that, it has something to do with the environment, the culture. So to
I
make
believe
things
so.
simple, we have to change the environment first.
Well, we have to change ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, here's the thing is that our environment is not going to change. It's hard to change your environment. I mean, you can't really try to kick out a McDonald's, right? Unless if the whole country, like Bolivia, kicks them out,
Mm-hmm.
right? They will change. What we have to change is change ourselves, change our thoughts, teach our kids. Like growing up, my daughter, she barely have like cookies or muffins and things like that. And we went to my mom's house and my mom offered her a cookie.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you want a cookie? And she looked at me and I was like, and she looked at me for like a good second, a few seconds. And then my mom asked her, if you don't want a cookie, you want a pear? And she says, yeah, I'll take a pear. I'm like, wow. I said, that's a proud moment as a father. Like she's well trained.
Yeah.
She'd rather have fruits than like a cookie.
Right.
Right. So, that's what we have to do. And we have to lead by example.
Mm-hmm.
You can't tell them to have a fruit and then you go turn around and have a bag of chips.
Yep.
That can't work. You look at parents. Oh, don't eat that. That's bad for you. They turn around, they're drinking a Coca-Cola.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So your kids are going to see and they're going to follow what you do. So it's really, really important to lead by example. And that is going to be one of the key things. Lead by example.
Lead by example and make the right choices.
Absolutely.
Like think
100%.
first before, buying
Right.
that burger or
Right.
that.
Because every food, Rocky,
Mm-hmm.
it's either going to help us live a better life or help us live a life that's going to be worse. It's better. It's good or bad.
Mm-hmm.
Right? There's no medium necessarily. Is it going to be good for us or is it going to be bad for us? And I say if 90% you make choices that are good for you, 10% you end up messing up knowingly, right? At least you're at 90%, you get an A, right?
Yeah.
You can't just go, oh, can I go 50-50? I said 50-50? When was the last time you took a test and you did 50-50? You failed.
Right.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's, yeah.
All right. Okay. Well, definitely a lot of, very useful information and very practical tips as well, Dr. Tam. So thank you so much
Thank
for
you, Rocky.
this for this talk, and we'll see you on the next episode.
Absolutely. Yeah, I get a little bit, intense about this because I'm very
Right.
passionate about it. So
And
hope
I
the
can tell.
listeners, people who are listening today, you really think about what I've just said, on how to change your lifestyle. Physically, food, which is nutritionally, and how it affects you mentally as well. Thank you
Everything's
so much,
really
everyone.
interconnected.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you, Rocky.
Thanks, Dr. Tam.
All
Bye-bye.
right. Bye-bye.